juiced and ready to go. And the opening tap is controlled to Purdue. Boiler up, they like to say here. We're going to warm things up. They were under 2 feet of snow all the way through last night.
Well, how about Michigan coming out in the matchup zone to get things started? Juwan Howard said they're going to throw a little bit of everything at Purdue's offensive attack.
There's the dump down to the big fella. No double coming. Good defensive work inside by Dickinson. Put back, and he's rejected a second time. Again, no need to necessarily double with the size the Wolverines have.
But Hunter Dickinson is a little foul prone, so Dickinson needs to do a good job, just like he did on that first possession, playing defense without foul.
Quickly trapped in the corner. Out it goes to Eli Brooks, and he airballs it.
I like Michigan's decision to run a lot of this matchup zone.
Stefanovic. They've got 6 guys that can bury it from deep.
It puts you in such a big predicament because you know about Edey and Williams inside, but you got 7 different dudes shooting 40% or better, toeing the arc.
Houston might be the 3rd wheel today, but guys like Dickinson and Eli Brooks, now both 0 for 1 from the floor, had better be on their game. Nice little leaner, rolls off. Edey there to clean it up. Wait a minute, wave it off.
There for 7'4".
May have been too close. He probably thinks now he should have brought it down and flushed it.
Yes.
Dickinson trying to make a tough pass to Brooks, and it's intercepted by Sasha. Out to Hunter. Stefanovic. That leaner won't go. Good block out by Dickinson. Really one of the best XO coaches, underrated in that area in college basketball.
No doubt about it. And certainly lost a lot from last year's Elite 8 team, especially in the backcourt.
Nice work by Brooks finding Dickinson. So the 2 captains go to work to give the Wolverines their first bucket. 2.5 minutes gone by.
Well, whether it's a ball screen or a handoff like that, put Zach Edey and Travion Williams in predicaments with those handoff ball screens. Not overly fleet of foot. Good play from Brooks.
A little ball fake. Off the heel that time. Sasha wanted a foul, did not get it. Felt that Houston got him coming down off that ball fake. Look at those towers do the job. Diabate was looking for contact. Didn't get it. Purdue 1 of 7 from the floor. Make that 1 of 8. Dickinson, great overplay, but that's what happens when you take that risk.
Yeah, you play behind Edey, you're prone to foul. So Dickinson's going to have to pick his times to 3-quarter front, try to make the post-entry pass difficult, because the reality is when the ball goes into Edey, he scores at a ridiculously high clip. There's that handoff again.
Brooks on the wraparound. Stefanovic clears it. Tinley preps Eric Hunter Jr. out of Indianapolis in that backcourt along with Ivey. These are combo guards for Purdue.
To play defense without that.
Edey with 4 fouls already. Michigan with just 3 as a team, and the Boilers lead by 5. Houston with the dump down to Dickinson. That's the shot that needs to drop. Baseline, slightly extended. That's his shot.
Worked on it all offseason. Really did a nice job expanding his offensive game.
High lob, well diagnosed there, and looking for his 400th career victory as a head coach. He took over for Bruce Weber at Southern Illinois before coming to Purdue. Got 25 wins there. And Mason Gillis, another one of those 6 guys that can bury it out of Newcastle, Indiana.
Just great movement off of penetration as well, finding the open spot at the top of the floor.
Houston. 2 air balls from 3-point range for Michigan. Is going to need to improve if they're going to hang in there. Another beautiful ball fake, and the teardrop for Isaiah Thompson.
The good thing about Purdue is they're big, but they don't sacrifice speed at the open floor. They're looking to push it. Good early ball movement and shot fake from Thompson.
And a missed three leads to a fast break opportunity almost every time out against the Boilermakers. Dickinson looking to work high-low with Nikube. Dickinson, tough shot. Oh, the bank is open on Saturday afternoon in West Lafayette.
Again, that's where Dickinson's expanded his game. It was more of a low post, had to be within 10 feet to score last year. This year, you've already seen him knock down 2 face-up jumpers.
Ivey running that wraparound to make it 14-6. Dickinson has all the Michigan points. And Purdue now has 5 different guys in the scoring column. Brooks. Good block out again by Ivey. He's been unbelievable at big game moments, too, all season long. That was quick.
And right now, Tim, Michigan's gotten good looks from 3. Houston's gotten a good look. Brooks has gotten a good look. Got to start to knock down these open triples if you're Michigan.
Another teardrop that fails. Travion Williams looking to become 6th man of the year in the Big Ten. Something he's accomplished throughout his career. Bang! Right out of the gates. Hello, how do you do? Look at that work inside. He would not be denied. Musa Diabate.
It's one of those moments Juwan Howard talked to us about with combating these tough moments on the road with collective execution and effort. That was excellent.
That was a big hoop. They were in the middle of a run. Gillis hasn't stopped yet.
Defensive upside right now is still an area that leaves a little bit to be desired. But you know, Purdue is so good. #1 offensive efficiency team in the country. So good offensively. And it might not matter what the defensive numbers are.
Yeah, no question. And when you've got that many scores, you're going to give up a little deep. Baseline drive and a good reversal move by Terrence Williams II, young man out of Clinton, Maryland, by way of Gonzaga College High School.
Terrence Williams II is a guy that's played well on the road at 22 at Nebraska, 10 at Indiana. It's a good start. Need that third piece, somebody else to step up for Michigan to score.
Purdue began 1 out of 8. They're 6 for their last 7 since. Williams over Dickinson. He's really the perfect complement to Edey. And they'll play occasionally in tandem with a little high-low game.
Well, the thing about playing him, bringing Williams off the bench is you're bringing in a fresh body as well. So Edey was leaning on Dickinson, and you bring in Williams, who's fresh, to lean on him as well.
Brooks, little scoop to the hoop. Eli's coming, and it's 22-12.
A great ball movement, side to side. And Brooks able to do his thing, get inside and get a layup. Maybe that'll help his open 3 balls go down.
Dickinson trying to keep those feet on the ground. Excellent defense that time. Houston clears.
Again, Dickinson surviving 1-on-1 in the post without fouling.
Williams II may be that third guy coming out of the Mixmaster off of Juwan Howard's pine.
I tell you, Terrence Williams II, it's just consistency that is what has eluded him. It's not ability at all. He can play.
Caleb first in the game #3, giving it up to Isaiah Thompson. First trying to keep it alive, it's out of bounds.
UCLA is a team that when it's all said and done is going to be in that Final Four picture when we get to late March.
Very athletic. And the interesting thing about this year, though, is last season we kind of had an idea of who the two were. I think this year we have no idea who the two are in college basketball. Just a lot of balance up at the top. Top heavy. Shot clock down to 5. Brooks rattles it home.
That's a great play, too, from Frankie Collins. Attacking Morton. So one thing Purdue's a little bit vulnerable on, dribble penetration. Collins able to get in the lane and kick it for the open triple.
That's the first 3 ball that's dropped for Michigan. So mark that one down. They'll need to hit a few more if they want to hang around. 5 for 5 from the floor after a 3 for 12 start for the Wolverines. Ivey to Edey. We'll take a quick break. There's the dump down to Edey. Good night, Irene.
Yeah, you said it. Gets it with that kind of post position, forget about it. But Edey's got great hands. Not only is he a big and he's a big target, he can really catch the rock.
Williams the second from downtown. Michigan was 2 out of 15 against Nebraska. Got the win because of the play of Dickinson. They're going to have to be better. That alley-oop was perfect. And Edey flushed it home.
And it's so difficult because you got a 40% three-point shooter filling up the floor. So you got to stay attached to the three-point line, but you got Edey rolling to the rim.
Another 3 ball. This time it's Kobe Buffkin. This is a young man, part of that tremendous freshman class. Michigan may have been overrated, largely because the recruiting went so well, but they're also so young. And then you had the COVID problem. Ethan Morton will trigger it in, number 25 in white. Look at that seal. Oh my! Edey had a seal on Dickinson and the high-flying Ivey. Hammer time! Dickinson had no shot to get into that lane after the seal job by Edey inside. Frankie Collins lost that one. Pushed it. Ivey, push it good. Pushed it real good. Dickinson, a big 3. You got to maintain contact in this building.
But Dickinson's already knocked down 3 jump shots. That pick and pop, important, huge to silence Mackey because this place was rolling.
To go back to your efficiency, Purdue 12 field goals on 8 assists, only 1 turnover.
Not what you'd expect, right?
Yep, right. Hunter a step back. Taken down by Devontae Jones. Collins, too strong. Gillis with his feet on the deck with the rebound. Gillis, he loves that spot. This time, the iron unkind. Quick one from Johns Jr. Brandon Johns Jr., senior from East Lansing.
A good answer from Michigan after the highlight dunks from Ivey. Looked like a run was about to ensue when you get it back to 5.
Well, the bench points for Michigan, vital. They have 12 already.
Brandon Johns Jr., Terrence the second. X factors for the Wolverines in a major way.
Gillis pumps it. 2 in a row inside the cylinder and out. But this is an illustration of Michigan's matchup capability. Collins off the heel this time.
Little quick from Collins.
Ivey. A little quick from him that time. Edey all over the glass, though. Unstoppable in there, really. Unstoppable.
And Dickinson doesn't want to foul because he's already got 1. Has to kind of relinquish the dunk.
Great pick by Dickinson. He flattened Ethan Morton. He got right back up.
This is where Dickinson in the post has to be a part of Michigan's answer. Might come with a pick and pop, though.
Jones waves him off. He says, I like this mismatch here. Dickinson, I mean, he is absolute money from deep.
Goodness gracious. Talk about working in the offseason and it showing up in season. Back-to-back pick and pop triples from Dickinson.
35% coming in. I mean, that's a part of your scouting report. You got to know to get a hand on him from deep.
Well, and Edey's not going to get out there.
Morton, woefully short. Jones. This New Orleanian is quick. Dickinson sets up shot and puts it down again. 32-31. Dickinson with his Wolverines on his back. 5 of 6 from the floor. He's made the last 5. Amazing.
Incredible.
Beautiful move. Just a beautiful move.
You need Dickinson on the floor. He cannot be in foul trouble.
The value of having a coach that was once in the post.
Yes.
Time and score matters. An 11-3 scoring run even after that free throw for the Wolverines. They trail by a deuce.
See if Michigan wants to come back with some more pick and pop. Here it is.
Oh, great move by Travion Williams. Stepped right into the passing lane for the pilfer. He read that one from Dickinson. Johns Jr. with the overplay and steal. A rare Boilermaker turnover. Brooks, beautiful entry. Everything but the finish. A rare miscue for Dickinson. May have been too close. Sasha to Travion.
It's just great action. And again, you see Dickinson not wanting to foul, relinquishing the layup. When you got 40% shooters towing the arc, it's hard to help and sink in on those rolls, Tim.
It's really amazing how Williams is so much more comfortable coming off the bench than being a starter. He is truly proud of being the best sixth man he could possibly be. Only 5 on the shot clock. Jones high arching off the window. 35-33.
And give an assist from Brandon Johns Jr. sealing off the help defense. So Devontae Jones can lay it in.
Well, these are the kind of seals that Lombardi would have liked.
No doubt.
A seal here and a seal there. Travion, he just has it all. The spin move, fadeaway J, it's all right there, the repertoire.
And again, you said it coming off the bench. Williams only plays 20 minutes a game, so he is fresh when he's on the floor.
Little drop off to Johns Jr., taken down by Williams. Travion and Edey have collaborated for 20 points for Purdue. More than half of their scoring. Ivey lost that one.
No doubt. Michigan's really had an answer more often than not when Purdue looked like they were going to get it rolling. But how about the fact that Purdue has not fouled yet? They have 0 fouls so far in the first half.
And outstanding defense there from Ivey. Now, this is clearly not one of the Boilermakers' best defensive teams. They're known for that. Katie kind of started that culture, and certainly Matt Painter continued it. But you give up some of that, don't you, when you got that many scorers?
Yeah, you're willing to get into a scoring contest with just about anybody.
Devontae Jones. It was a good bounce pass. Dickinson just unable to corral it.
Well, if one-on-one post-up defense is going to be what the situation is, Williams has to continue to get touches, Timmy B.
Boilers have 6 field goals, all in the paint, their last 6. Shot clock 2nd 6, Ivey. Gillis the follow. A lack of block out that time for the Wolverines, and they were burned.
One of the issues of running that matchup zone is sometimes you're not matched up in block-out situations, and Gillis gets a free run at the rim.
Brooks with under 10 on the shot clock. Williams too strong. That was a tough shot. Houston unable to get it to go. Shot clock is off, and they'll hold it for the last one. Big defensive sequence here for Michigan. Ivey likes it near the buzzer, but he'll give it to Gillis instead. Well, I think that's a compliment to our officiating crew. Larry Scarrato, Keith Kimball, and Rob Riley. They are letting them play. Dickinson from the elbow.
Pick and pop, but instead of a 3, it's just a short roll, little 15-footer. I think Michigan has found something they like in that pick and pop action with Hunter Dickinson.
Well, there's a little zone action. We touched on it with Juwan last night. Going to throw a little bit of everything at them.
And what's interesting about this zone, Timmy, is Michigan will match up as the possession wears on.
Found a little crease. Did Eric Hunter Jr. And he's got his first bucket of the afternoon.
Yeah, Hunter been playing some of his best basketball. He had 20 points in the last road win at Minnesota. Been a little quiet. Good little drive and finish for Hunter.
Same starting fives that open this game. Houston, who is that other third guy. Okay, keep an eye on Double Deuce. He can crank it up from downtown.
And what's interesting about that is instead of going over the handoff, you go under it because you don't want to get that pick and pop action, and Houston makes Purdue pay.
Edey going to the left hand. Dickinson doing all he can. Look at Edey run it down. His feet are so quick. Stefanovic. That foul was on Dickinson, his second. He did push on the entry pass to Edey. Edey on the offensive glass, can't get it. Eli Brooks, 3-on-3. He'll take it all the way to the rack. And Michigan has closed it to within 1. Wolverines have 6 trays. That time an end-to-end deuce. They have never led in this game. Dickinson doesn't want to pick up a third. That's just outstanding defense.
You said it. Great defense, holding your ground without fouling.
Devontae. Offensive foul against Jones.
Need an all-hands-on-deck approach to try to slow down Zach Edey.
I mean, the discipline to keep those hands straight up. Huge for Dickinson. Little drop-off. Wrap-around pass from Hunter Jr. to big Zach Edey, all 7-4 of him. A baker's dozen and 7 boards to go with it.
That floor is so spread because Michigan is attached to the three-point line. Hunter now has put his head down and got into the lane.
Dickinson spots up. Rattles home another tray. Are they going to call that a 2? They're going to say that was a 2. 43-42. It was close.
3-2, doesn't matter. That jump shot is rolling for Hunter Dickinson
yes,
right now.
It is. Ivey.
Goodness. Playing off 2 feet, big time.
Look at the big fella run the floor. Up and over Edey. Reward the big guy. Michigan 5 of 5 this half. They trail by 1.
How good has Hunter Dickinson been? Goodness.
How good is this game? This is pretty good stuff.
Yes, it is.
Ivey letting the game come to him and sometimes taking it right to the rim.
That's so good. You get the little jump stop, shot fake, step through after hitting the little runner on the previous possession. floor is so spread out for Hunter or Ivey to attack it, even against this matchup zone. Here comes that screen, and this is where Ivey's gone to work.
Brooks trying to show against it. Mano a mano, and Ivey uses the glass.
I like Matt Painter because if he finds some action he likes, he goes right back to it. 3 straight ball screens for Ivey, 3 buckets. The big guys in this league are a handful. You know, the Big Ten teams are used to dealing with it every single night. You step out of conference, it's a little different.
Wolverines had cut it to 1. They've never led. Trailing by 5 now out of the timeout. Tough pass. A mistake by Brooks that time. Here come the Boilers. And a return to Cinder. As they lose the handle, it comes back the other way for the Maize and Blue.
I'd come right back to a pick and pop with Hunter Dickinson if you can.
Houston off the curl. Went dead off the heel. And an easier rebound Travion Williams will never get. Ivey! High rising. He has their last 8. He only had 6 at the break. He knew when his team needed him.
That burst is next level.
Well, Michigan was able to make answers when they were on the precipice of dropping down by double digits. How about now? Nope. Off the deck it goes into the hands of Williams. Off the feed from Eric Hunter. Proud they must be. They're seeing all that athleticism from home come to fruition this afternoon in West Lafayette.
Does Michigan have an answer? Had an answer in the first half every time.
Houston, not to be. Those were falling in the first half. Critical time now for Michigan.
And it feels like Ivey's got it rolling. Can get anywhere he wants on the floor.
Well, they go 28-6 in the last 15 minutes from the end of the first half to now in the paint. Gonna run it right through him. Williams, who is outstanding dropping dimes right to Stefanovic.
Well, Williams is the best post passer in the country. Stefanovic is one of the hardest cutters in all of college basketball. Great basket cut.
An 11-point lead. Strong move off of the window pane, that time with Houston. A big-time talent in a celebrated class that is only getting better as February marches toward March. Purdue's made their last 7 from the floor. Make it 8.
Man, Tim, Jaden Ivey is carving Michigan up in these high ball screen situations right now.
Six dimes dropped by Ivey to go along with the buckets. Houston again. Oh, nothing but nylon there. And it is needed for the Wolverines right now.
Got to figure out what you're doing on this end with Jaden Ivey. Just getting to this lane line ball screen. Going to swing, swing. Here comes a ball screen.
Ivey again. Williams again. And he's fouled.
Well, Jaden Ivey in these pick and roll situations have been scoring at a high clip. And when that's the case, you got to send 2 at him. One of his 6 assists. He started distributing the ball. Tim, in the first half, did a good job. Had 5 assists in the first half, and then he started to score it. Michigan makes the adjustment, so he's able to drop down and drop the dime.
Diabita made the foul. His first.
You know, with Purdue, there are so many dilemmas you have to solve trying to guard them. It starts with the two big guys inside. You got 40% three-point shooters. You got 7 of them towing the arc. And then you got Jaden Ivey, who's maybe the most athletic guard in the country, driving to the basket.
There are only a few teams in the country that know that they can come out and run their stuff and not worry about anything else. Purdue is one of those teams.
You're totally right. Doesn't matter who they play. Purdue's going to do what they do and do it at a high level.
Dickinson is back on the floor. He and Brooks, the veterans of this group, got to handle it, and Brooks didn't. Williams almost lost it, recovered by Gillis. Another cross-court beauty from Travion. Solo, and he's fouled.
What do they say in recruiting? You got to win over mom to get the recruit. I bet Jawan didn't think he was going to have to battle to win over Jet's mom, over Rick Barnes.
Rick was about to fly down to Florida again to see Jet, and after a long conversation with his dad and with his mom, that was the hardest call Jet said he ever had to make. And Juwan told us that last night. I'm sure it was. But you know what? Those years together, father, son, and coach, so important to ask any head coach that ever had a chance to play for their dad. They'll tell you in a heartbeat that it meant so much to be able to coach their son. Houston, baseline drive, and he's fouled.
Really good ball movement, but Purdue a little bit of a adjustment. Full rotating on that pick and pop. Eric Hunter almost had a pick 6, was rotating over to try and catch it from Dickinson. And then they're able to swing it around and get to the basket, but pretty good defensive field from Eric Hunter Jr.
Caleb first got the foul. He gets 1 out of 2.
Well, it's the first time we're seeing a little full court pressure. Got Jace Howard at the top of it.
You know, Ohio State gave him trouble with this last week. And there's a 10-second call right on cue. You know, Chris Holtman's team was down 18. And they got that baby into a situation where Ivey had to win it at the buzzer. So the blueprint, if there is one, playing against this team, Purdue, is to throw some full court pressure at them.
NC State gave Purdue a scare, pressured them. Indiana beat Purdue, pressured them the whole game.
See if they can convert. Dickinson, right where you want him. High percentage shot, 61-52. He's 10 out of 12 from the floor. I mean, you can't ask for more than Hunter Dickinson's giving you. Needs a little help from his Wolverine friends. There's a push. He's getting some playing time off of that bench. Somebody they think highly of, obviously, long term. Ivey. Houston the rebound. So a bit of a lull and an opportunity for the Wolverines to cut into the lead.
I'll go right back to this pick and pop with Dickinson.
Jones, teardrop, stayed away from the player control foul in the paint.
And the hedge man didn't want to come off Dickinson. Good read from Devontae Jones.
See if this 5-0 mini spurt will end, and it does. Hunter Jr. from Tinley Prep in Indianapolis with love. And the lead is back to 10. So many weapons. Jones in traffic. You know, they had missed 8 straight trays before that last one by Hunter Jr. You know, as good as Purdue is from deep, once they rely on the points in the paint, sometimes they can cool themselves off. Edey checks back in.
We'll see if Michigan will full court press once again on this made free throw. And The last time Eric Hunter Jr. was able to knock down a 3, it's one thing you have to do. So if you break that full court pressure, Tim, is you have to go attack to try to score.
Here it comes. Tell you what, Jace Howard does wreak havoc, doesn't he? Got the ball tied up. It'll stay on this end of the floor. But this is working out well for Michigan.
Well, Jace Howard didn't play in the first half, so he is fresh. He's coming on the floor, and he is flying around. And Eric Hunter Jr. knew the 10-second call was getting down to about a second or two, and so he had to kind of just try to get it across half court.
Jace plays a lot like Jet. Same kind of player. Juwan's son, he'll be coming in next year. Free throw shooting has been a bit of an Achilles heel of late for this Purdue team. Hard to find warts, but they have some.
Yeah, well, and
everybody does.
Sure, but it's unfortunate because Purdue gets to the line so much. Got to knock down their opportunities at the charity stripe.
Hunter with 7 all this half. Dickinson on Edey. Swatted away by Edey. Hunter with a high pick. Runs into some trouble along the baseline, and it's knocked away.
Well, how about this wall? 7'4" underneath the rim. You got multiple Boilermakers coming in. Stefanovic might have been the one that came in to clean it up.
So give both credit for that one. Stefanovic up and under the reversal.
Well, he has really diversified his game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's more than a catch and shoot guy, that's for sure. They're on their feet at Mackey. Howard, an explosion, and he's... You know, the big fellows, whether it's Williams or Edey, they're erasers, which I think enables sometimes the so-called enigmatic perimeter defense not as big of an issue in most games.
Yeah, Michigan is, you're right, they've really not even challenged the big guys inside, but a lot of that has been Dickinson picking and popping instead of posting.
Gillis fighting for the loose ball, could not come away with it. Here's Jones with numbers. Nice move. Sweet by Devontae.
Guy that can really, really score. Was the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, 19 a game.
He was a Chanticleer by way of St. Augustine in New Orleans, Louisiana. There's the trap again, causing trouble. Jones, they're gonna say no.
One thing that's happening right now is Michigan has ratcheted up the pressure and the full court pressure. We'll see if Purdue can start to handle the ball a little bit better.
Off that pressure, Hunter got the foul. It was his 3rd.
It's just been so interesting to watch Dickinson attack. You just haven't seen a ton of post-ups. It's been all pick and pop perimeter stuff today.
Dickinson again. Edey affected that shot big time.
You can tell Dickinson doesn't really want to challenge Edey in the post right now. Instead, dragging him out, face-up jump shots, 3-pointers.
Wolverines have gone 10 of 15 in this half, but have actually lost ground that is so efficient. It's a whole different matter when we get to tournament time. Edey with 3 fouls in a minute 29. So a few home fans are not happy. Houston again.
Good look.
Ivey pulls it down. How about that?
Just working tandem.
Yeah, you think of through the history of college basketball, dual aircraft carriers, as Al McGuire used to call them. They've got them here at Purdue. Another foul trying to run through a ball screen. Hunter now has 4.
Well, Purdue didn't have a single foul in the first half. Now got 8 in this second half. Watch this, trying to chase Eli Brooks. Eric Hunter and Brooks get tied up a little bit. That
was a veteran move by Brooks. He sold that. Watch how Brooks sells it here.
Good job, though, by Eli Brooks.
You know, if it doesn't work, there is a flopping rule that can go the other way. But I think that was some super senior savvy by Eli Brooks to get to the line.
Well, you always got to be careful. If you're guarding a good shooter running off screens, if you try to get your hands on them, they can wrap you up, and it kind of looks like holding. That was good from Eli Brooks.
Well, we touched on that game last Sunday against Ohio State, where the turnovers late in the game turned what looked to be a blowout into a game that had to be won with a buzzer beater. You know, dare I say, we may be staring at that again.
Well, it's certainly possible.
3 straight turnovers for the Boilermakers. 3. To a very efficient team once they get it into their front court. Isaiah Thompson, and here is Ivey doing what Ivey does. This time it rolls off. Dickinson clears. Brooks, nice pass to Dickinson.
But you could just see that Travion Williams doesn't quite know what he wants to do. Is he helping on the ball handler? Is he retreating back to the roll man? Kind of got caught in no man's land.
You know, Michigan went to this much earlier than Chris Holtman did last Sunday. Williams, nice work. Couple of ball fakes, and again, Dickinson says, I'll give you the 2. I want to fight and live for another day.
But again, Purdue has to continue to attack when they do break the pressure.
Billy Raftery will be with you.
There we go.
Look forward to being with Raft on Tuesday and Wednesday night. Dickinson working on Williams. I mean, it's all there, isn't it? Is there anything missing from him?
This has
if he goes to the right hand.
There we go. That's the only thing that's missing.
Then we've got a story.
That was really just about the only legitimate post-up jump hook you've seen from Dickinson, though.
I mean, Purdue looks like a team that should be up by 15. It's 5. Only 1 timeout remaining for the Wolverines. Stefanovic. Oh, a lovely leaner lay-in for Sasha.
Well, again, Michigan right now is really selling out to taking away the 3-point line. So penetration, you're going to have space when you get into the lane.
Williams with those quick hands. Travion is so adept.
Michigan foul number.
Going to get aggressive, your propensity to foul increases. Something to keep in mind, Michigan only has 1 timeout left here in the final 4 minutes.
Yep. And another thing to consider, Purdue getting so much from its big 3. And by that we mean Williams, Edey, and Ivey. They've combined for 47 points and 22 rebounds. Make it 48. 74-65. Is there another run in the Wolverines? Who's going to help Dickinson? Normally a big man.
This full court pressure on a made free throw.
You know, in terms of feel, if Michigan can pull this off, it is an absolute steal. Because Purdue has looked to be the superior team all afternoon long. Pressure again.
Boy, dangerous pass.
Well, that time they wanted a foul on an aggressive move towards the basketball by Michigan. Didn't get it. Fans let them know about it. Ivey loses his dribble with 4 to shoot. Oh, no, I don't know if that warranted a change of the clock. but they got one. Houston, baseline, a block. It'll go against Gillis. Wasn't too bad. But let's just say with 4 or 5 guys, they've got it going. 74-69. Isaiah Thompson running the point. Only one timeout for the Wolverines.
Job by Travion Williams to make himself available. Hunter was going to get trapped, but Williams flashed to the ball.
Stefanovic is on the floor with Ivey, Williams, and Gillis. 5 on the deck for Purdue. Williams. And Dickinson will get a foul on the reach. Gillis, the offensive rebound. And Juwan Howard is in disbelief.
Those are backbreakers.
The lead is down to 5. He goes crossover. Bingo! Bingo, bongo. Take another one to the Ivy.
That is incredible.
He's got 20. Big shot from the corner. How about that from Devontae Jones?
Well, right now, you imagine, go back to this ball screen with Ivey. That's what's paid off the best in terms of offense. Here it comes. Dickinson's got ready to slide his feet.
11 for Jones, 9 this half. Stefanovic. Houston with an acrobatic rebound. Jones brings it the other way. Houston's feeling it. He wants it. But Dickinson has it knocked away. Is 99 seconds too early to foul?
Yes.
You do? You think it may be a little too early?
Oh, absolutely.
Keep the pressure up, but too early to foul.
But here it looks like Michigan's going to fall back and just try to be solid here.
The reason I ask is because the Boilermakers have struggled at the line as a team. They've struggled with this too. A late foul comes. Over the iron, tantalizingly kind. I've always felt the rims know who's shooting. You know,
the basketball gods know who's.
They do. They just do.
All right, I think he's still going inside to Dickinson. Just get him involved. Got plenty of game left. Doesn't need to be a 3.
22 for Ivey. Jones has been matriculating the ball down the field, but this one again goes off Dickinson.
I think Devontae Jones and Dickinson were not on the same page. Dickinson was expecting a lob, and it was a jump chest pass turnover.
Some of that's youth, isn't it?
Well, and some of it's chemistry. Keep in mind, Devontae Jones just transferred in.
Right. Michigan with 2 critical turnovers. But to your point about chemistry and/or pushing it, pressing sometimes, that'll happen. I think the Wolverines have proven today why the ceiling for them, even with their record, and they don't have great non-conference wins, so they need some quad one wins in the league in the last month. But they certainly look like a team that belongs.
1 minute. 1 minute to go.
It's where if you're Michigan, got to be communicating who's got shooter, who's pinching down and helping on the block out. Because statistically, you'd imagine one of these are coming off.
Sign of the cross in the pre-shot routine sometimes helps.
Wow.
80-72. Here we go.
Good deny from Jaden Ivey of Devontae Jones.
That one's kicked away.
Got to attack pretty quick here.
Tough pass, but Brooks corrals it. Using up a lot of clock here. Dickinson. It goes crying off the front iron. Purdue has it, and it appears They have control the rest of the way. (81-72). And Michigan has performed admirably all day long.
Taking too much time.
Yeah, they are. Jones, a little fade away in the paint, but they use precious time. Brooks has to give it up.
Oftentimes your role players shoot it better from three when you're at home. So you imagine some of the threes that were missed by Michigan will go down in Ann Arbor, but
take great pride in that. You know, a loss is a loss. But I think the building blocks for a young team, very, very good this afternoon for Michigan. Williams the second with the lay-in. That's going to do it. This is a fun game.
Big time game today.
Really enjoyed it. 400 career wins for Matt Painter.